Everybody, Lotte for Life here, bringing guys a brand new video. This time around, we are talking about the Tindangles. I'm sorry, I can't say that with a straight face. And the Jack Knights. So, last time we talked about the Insect Queen, the Barrel Dragon, and the Relinquished stuff. This time around, we're talking about the other two archetypes that were revealed. And am I the only one who keeps refreshing YgoAmino to see what the ban list comes out? It's still not out yet. Anyway, so starting off with the Tindangles, apparently this is Akira's deck that he plays in the Frames anime. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't gotten around to keeping up with the deck. I mean, the TV show. I haven't been able to keep up with the anime in a while. Mostly just I just don't have enough time to sit down and watch an anime, and it really does suck because it's been getting good from what I've been hearing. I mean, then again, Frames has been really good for pretty much ever since it started, and it's only been getting better from what I've been told. So I really need to get around to watching it. And so the Tindangles are played by Akira. I don't know if there's a meaning behind the name. I'm really curious. They're dark fiends, and yet they have like a name that sounds like it'd be something that like Yu-Gi-Oh would play. I'm being honest. But however, they seem to be based off of nanomachines or something. At least that's what I'm getting from the artwork. And that like, oh hey, the weakest one, like they just kind of like conglomerate into the bigger guys. That's my general guess, because you can see this thing over here, and that, I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can see it. I think that's it right there. I don't know. I can't tell. Anyway, so they're very intriguing, especially in the artwork, and they have, holy crap, guys, this might be the first really good flip deck. I need to sit down and play test it, which isn't going to be for a long while, but looking at the deck as a whole, it looks like it's going to be one of the first really good flip decks. And obviously people will be like, oh, but what about Shaddolls? Shaddolls I don't really count because you use their flip effects once in a blue moon, unless like you brick, which doesn't happen often in that deck. But the Tindangles, they seem to be focused on their flips. And Subterrors, they tried to be good, but it didn't really go anywhere very much, which sucks. I've heard they actually got a few tops in OCG though, which is intriguing. And then Crawlers are just kind of there. They can do a lot of shenanigans and they're really cool and stuff. But Crawlers aren't like tier 1 or anything. Tindangles though, I gotta be honest, they have the potential, and since they're played by Akira, one of the main characters, it's very likely that this deck is going to get a crap ton more support as time goes on. And so I'm very curious to see where Konami takes this deck. Anyway, so let's start off with their boss monster, Tindangle, Acute Cerberus. He's the Link 3, this guy over here, who, God, I love the artwork on all of these cards, but like, Link is just the coolest. It's so cool looking, and it's a Cerberus, but like, it's kind of hard to tell, but here's one head, there's a head, and I think this is a head, or this might be the other head. I can't tell. I have to actually look at the card. Anyway, so he's a Link 3, needs 3 Tindangle monsters, so you can't even like use a Link 2 and a Link 1. Nope, you gotta use 3 monsters exactly, which is kind of annoying, but oh well. This whole deck seems to revolve around having 3 monsters out, which it's kind of intriguing. Anyway, so while there's 3 or more different Tindangle monsters in your graveyard, including Base Gardna, which is this guy here, this card gains 3,000 attack power. So yeah, he jumps up to like rival boss monster status, which is really cool. Just having 3 monsters, which, oh hey, you use Gardna and 2 other monsters for this guy's Link summon, there you go, he's 3k, which is really easy to do. And then he gains 600 attack for each Tindangle monster it points to. He points up and bottom, left, and right, so you're really, honestly, you're only going to be getting 1,200 attack points, unless you're in a mirror match, which, if you're in a Tindangle mirror match, golf clap for you, buddy. That is freaking awesome. Anyway, so yeah, he's only really going to be going up by 1,200, making him 42, but still, that's 4,200 attack power for a Link 3. That's scary. And then in the battle phase, and once this card declares an attack, you can spell summon a Tindangle token, Fiend Dark, level 1, attack 0, defense 0. So the important thing to note about this is that it triggers no matter what. Like, you don't have to like summon a token to a zone that he points to. You can just summon it wherever, which is really cool. Now, of course, you can summon it to a zone that he points to, and then he gets stronger as time goes on. But, however, even more importantly, you can use that token for whatever you want. You can tribute it off or a tribute summon for one of the Tindangles, which, if you've noticed, a lot of them are really high level. Or you can use the token for a Link summon, or heck, a Synchro summon, or Fusion summon. They're dark, so you could summon Star Venom in this deck if you want to. So it's intriguing that like you can do that. I really, really like that they don't have any restrictions on this token, and I get it that it's like really supposed to be there to give them more attack points as time goes on, but ideally you're going to be using it for other stuff. Then we got Tindangle Angle. Tindangle Angel. This thing here. Level 4 Dark Fiend type flip effect monster. 500 attack, 1800 defense. You can only use its effect once per turn. It's a hard once per turn. Flip. Special summon one flip monster except itself from your hand or graveyard in face down defense position. If this effect was activated during a battle phase on your opponent's turn, also end that battle phase. So I think that Angel is going to be like your main... Oh wait, no, it is Angel. Unless I'm... No. Yeah, it is Angel. I forgot how to spell Angel for a second there. But yeah, seriously though, Angel is going to be like your main turn 1 set, I think, because you're going to want to set him, maybe Fool's Burial or Gardna or something, and then, oh wait, is Gardna a flip monster? He is not a flip monster, so yeah, you're going to want to send, like, I don't know, maybe the levels, 7, 8, 6, you're going to want to send one of the big ones, and then, like, set Angel, maybe a few back row, end turn. Opponent goes, they summon something, maybe do their plays, attack, Angel flips over, you summon out your dude that you just foolish, or maybe something from your hand, depending on the situation, and then the battle phase ends, which is really, really cool. I like that. Just being able to summon something for free, and then ending the battle phase is really, really cool. And then, of course, if you flip them on your turn, you can use that monster right away for other things. I can totally see this like being mixed with Subterrors, because then... I think, can Cave, no, not Cave Clash, I think, for some reason, I think that freaking, Final Battle can flip any monster from face down to face up. I can't remember though, I gotta reread the card, but, it's still very interesting that it can summon any flip monster for, like, holy crap, you can bring back, that pot monster, what's his name? I can't remember, but the level 9 that has 2,000 attack, 3,000 defense, and then you can just start drawing cards and getting cards out of your opponent's hand and stuff. I've seen people talk about maybe playing Tarot Tray in this deck, so Tarot Tray might be really good, and yet another flip effect deck. But yeah, seriously though, just for what this thing does, I like it. It's such a great start to this deck. Then we got Tindangle base Gardna, whom of which seems to be kind of like the main thing that like this whole deck revolves around. He's level 5. This is him here. At least the boss monster revolves around him. Attack 0, 2300 defense though. That's okay for level 5. I would like it 2500 defense, but I don't know. Maybe that's a bit much. If you control a face-down defense position monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand. You can only do that once a turn, but still, that's pretty good. I mean, just a free special summon. Then if a monster is normal or special summon to a monster zone your opponent's link monster points to, you can tribute this card. And then special summon any Tindangle from your hand or deck in face-up defense position. That is really, really good. So not only can it just freely special summon itself, which is really good for like link plays, like heck, just off the top of my head. Set Angel, set Waboku, activate Fool's Burial, sending, I don't know, this guy here, and then special summon Gardna, and then like maybe use something to, yeah, screw the Waboku thing. I was thinking like, okay, yeah, set Waboku, save it for later. But like use, isn't there a Book of Moon, like an anti-Book of Moon that like flips something face up? Activate that, flip it face up, and then oh hey, then hey, you got your 3 stuff for Gardna, Angel, and something else, which is really kind of cool. I don't know. Hopefully this deck gets a way to like inherently flip monsters face up right away. I can't remember if it has it right off the top of my head. Hopefully it does though. And then just being able to just summon out any Tindangle from your hand or deck is really, really good. Kind of annoying it summons it in attack position, considering quite a few of the Tindangles don't have very high attack power, but these two here have really high attack power, so those guys are going to be the ones you're going to want to summon in attack position. Anyway, so yeah, still really good start overall. And then we got Tindangle Hound, which is okay, so it's level 7. I can't count for the life of me. This guy here, 2500 attack, 0 defense, which is kind of odd for a flip effect monster. But anyways, that's just, I digress. Flip, target one face-up monster on the field, except this card. This card gains attack equal to the original attack of the target. Afterwards, change the targeted monster to face-down defense position. So I guess your idea is to like target like something else, and then like that you control, it gains attack, flip your own monster face down, and then flip it face back up, so you can gain even more card advantage off of that. That's pretty cool. Monsters on your opponent's side of the field, there's 1,000 attack for every monster that monster is linked to. Wait, monsters on your opponent's side of the field, there's 1,000 attack for every monster that monster is linked to. Okay, so if like your opponent has a decode talker and it points to 2 monsters, then yeah, that thing loses 2,000 attack power. So that's okay. It would be a lot better if it was just every monster your opponent controls loses 1,000 for, I don't know, every monster they control, something like that. Just face-up cards. Sorry, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one face-down monster on the field. That monster is changed to face-up defense position. Okay, there we go. That's still really slow though, like doing that. Like just being able to flip stuff face up and stuff. Now, obviously, like let's say you have Angel out and you flipped over the Angel, brought out this guy, and stuff, and then like, oh hey, this guy dies, you can book him in the Angel and do it again, which is kind of cool, but still kind of annoying. That you gotta wait till he dies to get the effect, but still really good. I mean, heck, just that first effect in OTK, really, really good and mean. Then we got Tindangle Apostle. He's the level 3 here. He's 800 attack, 1600 defense, Dark Fiend, flip effect, obviously. And then you can only use his effect once per turn, so it's a hard once per turn. Flip, change up to 3 face-down monsters on the field to face-up defense position. Okay, so they do have easier ways of doing this. If all monsters change to face-up defense position by this effect are Tindangle monsters, you can add a Tindangle card from your deck to your hand up to the number of those monsters. So, okay, you flip them over. You target your, I don't know, your Gardener, your Angel, and your Hound. Flip them all face up. And then not only do you trigger Hound and Angel's effect, but then you get to search 3 cards. And it doesn't even say that they have to be different cards. No, you can grab the same cards. And it's so, that is so stupid. You just flip them over, get search 3. That is really, really good. Now, obviously, ideally, and I mean, not ideally, but commonly, you're going to be just searching 1 or 2 cards at max. But still, being able to search potentially 3 cards is really, really, really good. And I can't wait to see if this deck has any staying power, which is my big concern. I mean, this deck has a lot of stuff going for it in terms of staying power and everything, but in practice, I mean, on paper, this deck seems like it's going to be really good, but in practice is another story, and that's what I'm concerned about. Anyway, so level 6, this guy over here, who's like a snake thing, he looks really cool. I love that design. He is a Tindangle Intruder. Level 6, Dark Fiend, flip effect, 2200 attack, 0 defense. And whenever you split face up, you can add a Tindangle card from your deck to your hand. Okay, so that's 2 cards that can search out other cards. That's really good. Then if he's normal summon, you can send a Tindangle card from your deck to the graveyard. This deck likes being engraved, so that's pretty good. And then while he's in the graveyard, if a monster spell summon to your side of the field and face down defense position, you can spell summon this card in face down defense position from the graveyard. That is really, really, really good, because then you can Fool's Burial him, special summon something like, I don't know, you flip over Angel, use his effect, bring out something from your hand or graveyard in defense position, and then you special summon out your Intruder as well. Now, it's kind of annoying, though, that he does have to be in face-down defense position, because then you can't make a Link 3 right away. I mean, heck, even the first card has to be in face-down defense position, but I guess that's what Apostle's for. And then, oh, hey, you get to search out 2 cards, and then make your Link 3, and then just proceed to LDK out of your opponent, which is really, really mean, but I really, really like this. It's so cool. And then, let's see here, we got the continuous spell card, Protected Sky of Nagel, which is this card right here. Judging from the artwork of this, it seems like they're like protecting the Cyverse, which is incredibly intriguing for the story of Reigns. So I can't wait to see how this goes. Anyway, so Protected Sky of Nagel, or Nagel, I don't know how to pronounce that. Only use its third effect once per turn. Tindangle monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effects. That is really, really, really good because they're all flip monsters and they die. So yeah. And the first time a Tindangle monster you control inflicts battle damage to your opponent this turn, double that battle damage. That is, again, the OTK potential for this deck is stupid. I love this. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard and discard a Tindangle card, add 1 copy of itself from your deck to your hand. So if your opponent like MSTs or Twin Twisters or Heavy Storm Dusters this card, or heck like you pop it for some reason, like I don't know, Scrap Dragon for some reason, I don't know, something, and it's in your graveyard, you can banish it, pitch a Tindangle, search out another copy of Nagel. I like this. It's so cool. And it's most likely, name is most likely from Nagel points. May also be a further play on Shugo, as written here means protection, but Shugo written means meeting or set. What is a Nagel point? I'm curious. Wikipedia. In geometry, the Nagel point has a triangle center. Oh, okay. Okay, that's intriguing. Moving on, we got the Euler Circuit, which is a field spell, and it looks like someone straight out of Mayan, like, doomsday kind of thing going on. Like, seriously, just look at it. Like, does that not look like the Mayan calendar? Anyways, the Euler Circuit, field spell. If you control 3 or more Tindangle monsters, monsters that your opponent controls cannot attack. So, yeah, that's more the 3 or more monsters thing, and I like that. That's mean. During your standby phase, you can target a Tingle monster you control. Give control of that monster to your opponent. Right now, there's no real reason for this other than the Link Monsters effect, so that you get another 600 attack, making them 4,800. But there's just no reason to do that, really. So, like, I mean, heck, you can't even, like, take advantage of that, like, by giving them one of the weak monsters and, oh, hey, it can't be destroyed in battle, but no, Nagel only protects the monsters you control. So, I don't really get the point of this. I really don't. I just don't. Anyway, so you can banish this card from your graveyard and search out another copy. Well, by doing the same thing as this, just pitching a Tindangle, searching out another copy, which is pretty cool. Now, my only real issue with Nagel and Euler Circuit is they don't have Tindangle in the name, so they can't be searched by the Tindangles, which is really, really annoying. But, oh, hey, the normal trap card has Tindangle in its name, so yay! Still annoying. Oh well, Terraforming's at 3 right now. Let's be honest, it's gonna get hit real hard soon, which sucks, but oh well. And then this card, you're just gonna have to hard draw into it, which really, really sucks, because this card is really, really good for the deck, but oh well. Then we got Tindangle Delune. I have no idea. It's a normal trap card. When you take battle damage due to the attack from your opponent's monster, while there's 3 or more Tindangle monsters in your graveyard, destroy the monster attack, then special summon your Link 3 from your extra deck. So you destroy the monster, and then you get a free Cerberus. You get a free one of these things. That is so cool. And granted, it doesn't seem to be it's not treated as a Link summon, so you won't be able to bring it back or anything, but still, that's so cool. So you take battle damage, and then you pop your opponent's monster, and then you get a free Cerberus, provided you have 3 or more Tindangles in your grave. That's not hard to do! And then if there are no monsters in an extra monster zone, you can banish this card from your graveyard, and target 3 Tindangles in your graveyard that have different names, special summon those monsters, and face down defense position. Okay. So this kind of gets me thinking on, like, I don't know, Fool's Barrel of Goods for this deck, and then, like, just maximizing on Dark Holes and Regekis to constantly keep the extra monster zone clear. That, or playing Cyverse Universe, activating it, Twin Twistering it, or something, and then shuffling everything back into the deck from those. Or, wait, did it send a grave? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've read Cyverse Universe. Anyways, but yeah, this card is stupid. I love both effects. It's such a great card. Just being able to get a free boss monster is always awesome. And then, oh, hey, getting another free boss monster while being able to potentially +4 is really nice. And, oh wait, no, +4, because if you use Apostle to flip over Intruder, you can get, like, along with obviously 2 other cards for Apostle, you can potentially get, like, freaking, yeah, that's a +4, because then you'd be able to, because you'd flip 3 cards, you'd get to search 3 cards, and then Intruder would search out another card. So yeah, that's 4 free cards. That's stupid. I love this deck. Why can I not have this now? God dang it. So yeah. And that's the Tindangles. And moving on to the Jack Knights. I'm not gonna lie, I've been so hyped for this because I've been wanting to see where this story for the World Legacy is gonna go because I love the World Chalice, and I've been curious as heck to see what the Jack Knights are like for the longest time because freaking Ningirsu, his normal monster version, it mentions it in the flavor text, the Jack Knights and the Mectrocities. I think the Mectrocities are the crawlers and they just go by different names because the TCG on the Circuit Break like promotional thingy, it mentions the Mectrocities, and there are no cards that are named Mectrocity in Circuit Breaker, but there are the crawlers, and so that's probably what they were referring to. Now we're getting to Jack Knights, and they're so cool. We don't know what their World Legacy relic is yet, but the Jack Knights themselves are so cool. I can't wait. Like, seriously, this is their freaking boss monster. A 3K Link 3 that has 3 zones that point directly down to you. The funniest thing, though, this card does not want you using those zones. You're going to see in a second. Can we just bask in the glory of this amazing card art? I love it. It's just so cool. It kind of reminds me of Leatheries, but it's still so cool. So it's a Cyverse effect monster. So Link 3 light, 3K attack, bottom left, bottom right. That's super obvious. And he needs 2 or more Jack Knight monsters. I'm hoping this deck gets a Link 2 as well, because it's going to be kind of hard to get into the Link 3 very, very easily. But yeah, anyways. I mean, depending on the situation, but we'll see. When there are no cards in the same column as this card, it can attack directly, so... first and foremost, the thing you need to know about Jack Knights is they are another column-based archetype. Konami is really forcing, like, really trying to make columns work, especially now that they are required to, like, be paid attention to in the game. So this is intriguing as to how they're doing it. Weather painters are pretty decent, and then, like, magic bullets are really good. But right now they haven't been seeing much success over in OCG because they're just so easily countered. And then Jack Knights, they're another column-based deck, but they seem to have the most potential in my opinion because they are just so stupid. Like, once we go over all the cards, you'll see why. So the boss monster, oh hey, there's no cards in the same column, he can attack directly, which is pretty mean. 3K, that's over a 4-figure life points. This card is in the extra monster zone and is not pointing to a card. It cannot be destroyed by card effects or targeted by your opponent's card effects. So, so long as it points to nothing, it cannot be destroyed by effects or targeted by your opponent's card effects. What? A Link 3 that has a downside? Still? So the only other Link 3 that points down all 3 is Goki Great Ogre, and like with Goki Great Ogre, Jack Knight of the World Remains has a downside if you make advantage of those. Great Ogre obviously has this effect where, oh hey, everything loses attack equal to their defense, and aside from Gokis and select few XCs, you're not going to really be able to make full use of that. And then Jack Knight of the World Remains just straight up says, hey, I'm not that great if you have something that I point to. So you really got to be careful about that kind of stuff. But that can still open up plays with, like, Cypher and Lord Omega, because you can summon him into the zone, and then, like, use his effect, get him out of there, and then, hey, Jack Knight of the World Remains is not affected by stuff again. And then whenever he comes back, you can put him back in a different zone. It's still really cool. I like how they're doing that. I'm still surprised they're still putting actual restrictions like this on Link monsters still. Because normally usually by the second set, after a new summoning mechanic is introduced, they usually introduce cards that, hey, buck the whole trend of, oh, hey, yeah, we have downsides. I mean, heck, remember how the first wave of Xyz monsters, Utopia would kill himself if he used all of his Xyz materials. Leviathan Dragon wouldn't be able to attack directly, and then Granosaurus, I can't remember what he did, but he lost something if you couldn't do it anymore. And so they had that trend, and then they just got rid of it, and they did the same thing with Pendulums. Pendulums had a lot of restrictions. Heck, even the first competitive Pendulum deck, Cleefort, had restrictions on them, yet looking at Links, they're still keeping them balanced, which is incredibly intriguing to me. I can't believe they're still doing this. Now, of course, I could be completely wrong, and they release like a Tindangle that's stupid broken. that has no restrictions, but who knows. Anyways, so moving on, this card has one more effect. You can send one card you control in the same column as this card to the graveyard. Spell summon a Jack Knight card from your deck in face-up defense position. I kind of hate it has to be in defense, but oh well. Being able to just get a free monster, I can't really complain. Because, like, oh, hey, you have a dead Brilliant Fusion, and this deck is probably going to be playing Brilliant Fusion, so send it to grave, and then just get a free monster. It's really nice. This card is amazing for a boss monster. I love it. I can't wait to see what else this deck is going to get. I think we have everything, because they legit revealed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cards for this deck. That's probably everything. They might get 1 or 2 more cards, because I think World Chalice got 12, and I think so did Crawlers. I can't remember, but we'll see. Anyway, so that's it for the Jack Knight boss monster. And for the Jack Knights themselves. So they're all lights, they're all psychics, and they're all level 5 or higher. So yeah, this is going to be one intriguing deck. And then we got 6 monsters in total, 2 spells, 2 traps, and then real quick, let me just say, I freaking love these artworks. They're so cool. Like, oh my god, I want to play this deck just on artwork alone, and it's just so cool. And then I love the lore building for this stuff. So for those who don't know, Ib got kidnapped at the end of the Crawler invasion stuff, and so I guess Orum and Ningirsu are trying to find her. I don't know what the heck happened to Imduk. He just disappeared, I guess. Probably saw a ball, ran after it because he's a dragon dog. And then it looks like Ib got kidnapped by the Jack Knights, probably because she's the bearer of the World Chalice, so they probably want that or want to exploit it. And then it looks like something happened, and like Lee is either a traitor or she's mind controlled or something. So that's incredibly intriguing. I can't wait to see where this is going to go. Hopefully this means that we'll finally get a Link 4 for World Chalice that is like the true boss monster for World Chalice, because that's my big issue with World Chalice. They don't have a true boss monster. Ningirsu is really good, but he doesn't feel like a boss monster. So yeah, that's just my general take on the lore and everything. I freaking love the lore that they're building with this. It feels like a video game. Anyway, so let's move on to the Jack Knights. So, first and foremost, we got Jack Knight of the Blue Sky. So, all Jack Knights, they have this name trait where it's Jack Knight of the something, of color something. So, like, for instance, Blue Sky, Green Heights, Flickering Flame. Okay, that's not a color, but generally speaking, it's pretty cool, though. I like that name scheme. It's kind of like, it sounds like a superhero name. I love it. Anyway, so Jack Knight of the Blue Sky, light, level 5, psychic effect monster, 2k attack, 2500 defense. He's this guy here. So every single Jack Knight has the same following 2 effects. You can only summon it off of its first effect once per turn, and its second effect can only be used once per turn. Well, okay, the second effect once per turn thing is not indicative of every single Jack Knight, but they all can only be summoned by their first effect once per turn, and that first effect is that if a column has 2 or more cards in it, you can spell summon this card from your hand to that column. So if your opponent has a spell or trap card in their column and a monster, you can summon out a Jack Knight to that column. Likewise, if they have a spell and then you have a spell, you can summon a Jack Knight to that column. So I really like this kind of like idea for columns and stuff. But it is incredibly limiting. It means that you're going to have to heavily rely on what your opponent's doing and well, back row for you, because you can't summon a monster to a summon that's already taken by a monster. So yeah, it's going to be incredibly interesting to see how this deck like actually functions in the game. But on paper, I really like how this deck works. So if he's normal or special summon, you can add a Jack Knight from your deck to your hand. Okay, so sorry. Skipped over something important. If this card is normal or special from the hand, you can add from your deck to your hand Jack Knight cards with different names except himself equal to the number of cards your opponent controls in the same column as this card. So you can add up to 2. They gotta have different names. They can be any Jack Knight cards. So I don't think any of their spells and traps. Actually, this might have Jack Knight in the name, and I think so does this. This might have it as well. I can't remember. But yeah, you can search out any Jack Knight cards, different names from the deck, up to number of cards that your opponent controls. So theoretically, you can search out 3 cards because, well, if you summon it to a zone where your opponent has a monster, a main monster, a back row, and an extra deck monster, you can search all 3 cards, which is some pretty hefty horsepower searching. So why is Stratos still banned? Oh wait, Stratos is at 2 in OCG. Yeah, I'm still salty about it. Anyways, next up we got Jack Knight of the Green Heights. Yeah, blue sky stupid good. I like it. Jack Knight of the Green Heights. Level 6, Psychic Effect, 2100 attack, 1600 defense, yada yada, same stuff. When this card declares an attack on an opponent's monster in the same column as it, you can target a Jack Knight in your graveyard, add that monster to your hand. Really, really good, just being able to get recursion, always like that. Then we got Jack Knight of the Flickering Flame, so here's Green Heights, and then I think this is Flickering Flame here. Actually, wait, this might be him, because this guy's red. Level 6, 800 attack, 3k. Okay, so Flickering Flame is the kind of golden yellow instead of crimson. Anyway, so Flickering Flame, 800 attack, 3k defense, same yada yada stuff. If an opponent's card in this same column as this card leaves the field or is the start of a battle, you can summon a Jack Knight from your hand. So if you know you're going to kill a monster in particular, you summon this guy to that zone, and then you kill that monster with another monster, and you can summon a Jack Knight for free from your hand. I really, really like that. It's not a hard once per turn, so like, oh hey, if your opponent, like, I don't know, has a giant rat and for some reason summons another giant rat to the same zone, you can theoretically get more searches, more special summons off of that. But let's be honest, unless like you're going against a complete and total idiot, that's not going to happen. And also, nobody plays giant rat anymore or any of the other like attributes, special summoners. I don't know what they're called anymore. So yeah, I don't think you have to worry about that. Anyway, so next up we got Jack Knight of the Yellow Bloom. Pretty name. I mean, heck, that goes for all of them. I freaking love this. It's so cool. Also, wow, this card looks so much like Thanatos from Persona 3. Like, holy crap, these look like the coffins, and it just, I'm getting flashbacks of Persona 3. I need to go back and play Persona 3 again. I haven't played that game in forever. Anyway, so level 7 light psychic effect monster, 2200 attack, 2000 defense, same standard stuff for the first effect. Then its second effect is you can banish a Jack Knight from your graveyard, target a spell or trap card in the same column as this card, destroy that target. I get it that it's part of the like gimmick with this deck, but I really wish you can pop any spell and trap, not just ones in the same column. I mean, it means that you're going to have to be smart about your playing style and everything, but still, I really wish it was just any spell or trap. It also means you're not going to be able to hit field spells with that, which is annoying, but still, oh well. Then we got Jack Knight of the Crimson Lotus, the 2700, the level 7 with 2300 attack, 2600 defense. So yeah, 2300 attack, 2600 defense, same standard stuff. And then he does the same thing as Yellow Bloom, but pops a monster. So yeah, again, pretty good. I wish he could pop anything, but oh well. And then we got Jack Knight of the Purple Dusk, the last monster that we know of. I can't help but wonder what the World Legacy card that this deck is going to get is going to do, because they all, like, you know, fluctuate with what the deck does, what they correspond to. So whatever the Jack Knight World Legacy does, I hope it does something really good, because holy crap, this deck has a lot of potential. Anyways, Jack Knight of the Purple Dusk, 2500 attack, 2k defense. That's like some freaking main character stuff there. Same standard stuff. Quick effect, you can target a Jack Knight monster you control. Banish that monster until your next standby phase, then add a Jack Knight from your deck to your hand, except himself. So yeah, another search card. This deck has 2 search cards, just like Tindangles. Just really, really, really good and all. Like, oh my god, I love this. It's so cool. I can't wait to see what else this deck is going to get. Just being able to search out any Jack Knight monster is really great. And yeah, the banishing thing is kind of annoying, but also, like, this deck doesn't mind banishing because it has a few ways to get stuff back. So first and foremost, though, before we get to that, we gotta talk about the field spell. And oh boy, this field spell. Scars left by the World Legacy. Field spell. Duh. Jack Knight monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Konami seems to be putting this into every single field spell lately. Once per turn, you can discard a Jack Knight monster or a World Legacy card. Draw 1 card. I actually really like this. Obviously, I really like this. It's a really good effect. Just getting your graveyard of Jack Knight so you can use the others' effects to pop stuff. And always getting draw cards is nice. And then a lot of the World Legacies, actually I think every World Legacy that we know of so far, the armor and the actual Star Relic thing, Both have engrave effects, so getting them in the graveyard is always nice. And then, hey, getting a nice, draw 1-for-1 is always nice. And then here's the kicker for this deck, for this thing. You can banish 6 different Jack Knights, so you gotta banish all 6. If you want to do this, you gotta play every single 6, or one, the freaking Link, obviously, duh. So you got 7 different monsters you can choose from to banish, and you gotta all have different names to do this. So yeah, you have to. It's basically Power Rangers, 6 different ones. Wow, that's actually a really good correlation, Power Rangers, because different colors are knights. Power Rangers could be called knights. The only thing they're missing is a Megazord. And a crazy villain that likes to yell to make things grow. Anyway, so you can banish 6 different Jack Knights in your graveyard and or face up on your side of the field. Send all cards in your opponent's hand and in your extra deck to the graveyard. Okay, so basically you do this and you win. Because, oh hey, you're dueling in Zodiac. Okay, there goes everything in your hand and extra deck to the grave. I mean, what? And then you can theoretically do this turn 1 if you open with it, or you search it off of terraforming, and then you activate, I don't know, freaking that grass is greener, sending half your deck to the graveyard, and then, oh hey, I just sent one of each. Okay, activate this. Okay, I win. Can you imagine that? I've already heard people talking about different ways you can break this. The fact that you can do it from the graveyard too, by banishing ones in the grave. That's so mean. It's so mean. I love it. It's so cool. I love this deck so much already, and I haven't even gotten to play it. Anyway, so the continuous spell card, key to the World Legacy. So yeah, they did kidnap her because she has a World Legacy, and they want to get the World Legacy power or something, I guess. So key to World Legacy. When this card is activated, it's a continuous spell. You can target one of your banished Jack Knight monsters or World Legacy cards added to your hand. That's always great. Just being able to get stuff for basically free is great. And then it has another effect where if you control a Jack Knight monster, the activated effects of your opponent's traps in the same column of that monster are negated. So I've seen a few people get this confused. Okay, so it's not that the same column as this card. It's the same column as that Jack Knight. So if your opponent has 1 back row, you're going to activate this, summon out the Jack Knight to that zone that your opponent has that back row in. And if that's a trap card, they're not going to be able to use it because this thing's going to stop it. And I believe because it just says, oh hey, it just negates it. It's a continuous effect. I believe that will also negate counter traps because it's not chaining to it. So yeah, that's pretty mean. And we got Whispers of the World Legacy. This one over here. So it looks like, judging by the name, if I had to take a guess, Lee and the World Legacy Stargrail thing get corrupted by the World Legacy of the Jack Knights. That's my guess. That's my guess. I might be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm getting, because you can see something scanning at Lee, and she's turning from blue to dark, and then oh no, she's evil and has 3 eyes now in dark. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so Crapper was oh yeah. So when this card is activated, you can target a level 6 or higher. It's a continuous trap, by the way. Target 1 level 6 or higher monster on the field. That monster gains 1,000 attack and defense until the end of this turn. Really nice for OTKs and stuff. If you control a Jack Knight monster, the activated effects of your opponent's spells in the same column as that monster negated. So yeah, get this and that out at the same time, and hey, your opponent can't do crap. And then just for heads up, the final continuous trap card does the same thing, but for monster effects. And then the True Death's sleeping inside the World Legacy. So I guess in reality the World Legacy is evil, and I guess gathering all 7 would kill the world or something. Because for those who don't know, that's the whole goal of the World Chalice monsters, are to gather all 7 World Legacy relics. They don't know why, but Lee told them to go and do it. So I guess Lee really is a traitor. I don't know. Anyway, so the True Death sleeping inside the World Legacy. Continuous trap. When this card is activated, you can target a level 5 or higher monster in graveyard. Spell summon that monster. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. It's called 100 for Jack Knights, and then of course it negates monster effects that are in the same column as a Jack Knight monster. Really, really, really good. So yeah, Jack Knights have a lot of things going for them. They have really good spells and traps. Like that's a big thing about them, and then of course the individual monsters are really good. My big concern with the deck is the fact that it's heavily reliant on your opponent putting cards on the board. So if your opponent is smart and knows what you're playing, and you don't draw any of your spells and traps, and you got a handful of Jack Knights, you gotta rely on them having to make a misplay and set a card in a wrong zone, summon a wrong card in a wrong zone, stuff like that. So that then they got 2 cards in the zone, so you can start putting stuff on the board. But otherwise, until then, you can't do crap. So really, in all honesty, this deck is going to have to rely on a secondary engine. I've seen a lot of people talk about like the Lightstorm engine, stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see what people do with Jack Knights. I definitely see this deck being a competitive, viable deck, especially once people find a way to break it. More so the field spell than anything else. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for this deck. And still no ban list. Dang it. Anyways, guys, so that is it for the new stuff. What do you guys think of Jack Knights and Tindangles? Hopefully we'll hear more. I was really hoping for something involving the Link Frames pack, because I want to see what the Glad Beast Link Monster and the BA Link Monster do, but they still haven't announced that yet. Hopefully we don't have to wait all the way till next month for them to announce what those cards do. But I don't know, I digress. We'll have to wait and see. So guys, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And see you all later. Peace out and goodbye.